Hey guys, it is Kilo Kid. How you doing? If you guys have not watched the latest episode of What's So Funny, you should go watch it. And I'll wait. Well, you're still here, so obviously you've either watched it or you're just gonna skip it and listen to Food for Thought. Well, watch Food for Thought. So we have a couple new viewers here. So what is Food for Thought? Food for Thought is kind of just that moment where we kind of just sit here for a second, well, 10 minutes, but and I kind of just think about and reflect on the whatever's been going on. Difference from the What's So Funny, and we kind of go 20 minutes into everything that's been going on. I kind of reflect for 10 minutes on just how I feel about whatever's been going on. So, I kind of addressed it in What's So Funny, but I want to kind of address it more. So I did say I've been doing this now, officially today, 7 months. And did I think in 7 months, did I have a goal? And I think I said this in one of my very early videos, because I think Jimmy Ward III asked me what are my goals very, very early on. I actually don't remember what my answer was, because I think I said it in a What's So Funny video, because I remember it at the time. I don't remember my answer now. But I can surely tell you that my goals are very different now than they were when I originally answered this question. And if they're not, if they're the same that they are then than they are now, I'm amazed. But my goals now are just to keep going. Do I actually have goals right now? I mean, not really, just because things are going really well. I mean, honestly, things are going unexpectedly well, because I was not planning to do and host my open mic every Wednesday. So that kind of, I kind of did the work to open my own open mic, and so wasn't expecting so was that in the cosmos? Was I planning to do that? I mean, no, but when I did all the work and it worked out, I'm not gonna say no. So, I love it. And so I think that's awesome though. And I think that is the coolest freaking thing that I get to do that. And I'm just so proud of myself for how far I've come in 7 months. Well, 6. I mean, 7 literally is today. But, the coolest thing, I think, is just the fact that the shows I've gotten to see, the people I've gotten to meet, and the places I've gotten to see. I think the traveling is the part I really enjoy. I've gotten to see parts of Ohio that I've either never seen or never even heard of. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm from a really small town called Brecksville. That's actually where I grew up. And then my dad's actually from Parma. My dad is grew up not too far from where I'm actually living now. So, both are, Parma's not that small, but it's small enough to where if you grew up in either of those two areas, you're not leaving the area all that often. So comedy really gives you that sense of being able to travel, if you will, the world. I mean, yes, I've not gone that far. I think the farthest I've gone is PA right now for comedy. I have something lined up possibly to travel farther and out of state if I get picked. And then as far as I'm going with that, because I don't want to get anybody's hopes up if I don't get picked. And then if I don't get picked, I'll still mention it, but that's as far as I'm going with that. But yeah, and it was 3 months in, maybe, if that, 4 months in, if that. It was something. No, it was 3 months in. I was 3 months in, and I had done Pittsburgh, or not Pittsburgh. I was in PA, and it was a John Hoff show. And I was just really proud of myself. It was just an open mic, but I was very proud of myself because I was so new, and it was my first out-of-state show to me. And I took that as pride, and I was very prideful of myself because I was only like 3 months and I was doing already an out-of-state show. So to me, that was pride. And so it kind of resonates with me. That's like, wow, now I'm doing this 6-7 months in, and look how far I've come. Look at the places I've either been, I've gotten to see, the people I've gotten to meet, the connections I made. And Jimmy Warren Jr.'s always told me, newcomers, they don't get the opportunities you've gotten. They don't get to do as many shows as you've done in the past, how many months you've been doing it prior, So you're very lucky to, and fortunate to do it. But you're also busting your ass because you want this. And yeah, I'm getting whatever open mics I can get. I'm trying to get all the connections I can to do the shows I want to do them. I'm supporting all the comedians I can. So even if I'm not in the show, I go to the show. And so yeah, because a lot of times I go to Paynesville, I'm not even in the show. I'm going there to support. So, and that's kind of how the comedy route started. I was just a fan. I just went, and that's kind of how it started. I think I've said my story before of how I even started comedy, but yeah. And it amazes me every month that I have an anniversary of how long it's been, of how much got done that month, and how far I've gone, and how much more work I put in, and how much more work I'm going to put in, and how much more work I'm going to put in, and how much more work I'm going to put in. And I love it. Because I am going to say that I was doing martial arts for a long time, and I did have to stop because my fibromyalgia kicked in a lot more, and I couldn't keep taking hits, and that sucked. But then comedy kind of dropped in my lap at the right time, and I loved it. And that's kind of why it took place in martial arts, and yeah, and I loved it. So, and I love the fact that I can do this now. And do I miss martial arts? Tremendously, because that was a huge part of my life for a great portion of my life. It was part of my life when I was 5 years old, up until about maybe 2-3 years ago, if that. It was probably a little bit less. And then I was a horseback rider for a vast majority of my life as well. So, yeah, comedy fell into my lap at a great time. And I've just been busting my ass since, so it feels great. I never thought I was going to be selling merch. That was another cool thing, which, again, I'm super proud of. So, I have business cards as well, which I'm going to be handing out. I keep forgetting that I have those. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of bad of me, is that I forgot that I had them. They're in my bag. They're in my comedy bag, which ironically was my laptop bag, and then I used this comedy. So I had to order another laptop bag because I actually needed a laptop bag. And it's literally the same bag I used for comedy. It's literally the same exact. I literally just copy and pasted it on Amazon, bought the same bag. It's literally gotta be my laptop bag because I actually needed it. My actual laptop bag is kind of small, so yeah, I'm very excited because my comedy bag actually it literally had to carry a lot of stuff, and then I carry my tripod, and then the other bag I carry like medicine and stuff because I travel a long way, and I would get like stomach aches or headaches, and I didn't have anything with me, and I'm like, first aid kits, it's like shit, I gotta start carrying shit around with me. And so it helps me now versus having to find a CVS in the bumfuck middle of Nowheresville. So now I actually have shit with me, so I don't have to go find a CVS in the bumfuck middle of nowhere. Yeah, it wasn't really fun when you're in the bumfuck middle of nowhere and you have to find a CVS and you can't. So, but thank you guys for joining in. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye!